Howdy, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream here tonight. Man, am I glad to be back with the live stream for you guys. Now, in tonight's live stream, I am going to be talking about the history of some of the places that we are going to go ghost hunting, the haunted explorations. I'm going to talk to you guys about all the history that is. We got about 7 places that is on our list in the near future to go exploring. They're all haunted explorations. They're all going to be very, very haunted. So, I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, get some people in here, and I will begin. So, hope your day's been going pretty good. Mine has, for the most part. Wait a couple minutes here, get some people in. Give me a minute and got a quick notification that I had to look at. So yeah, all right, guys. Welcome to everyone that is joining this live stream here tonight. Like I said, every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time will be live streams on this channel. Monday, I'm going to start doing on my vlog channel live streams at 9 p.m. Eastern Monday. Mondays are going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. Sorry. Yep. Live streams on my vlog channel is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. That's changing. Nothing is changing on the live streams for this channel. This channel, it's staying 10 p.m. Eastern until further notice. Now, some Wednesdays I might not be able to do live streams at 10 p.m. because I might be out doing these haunted explorations for you guys. So I will get it done every single week. It might not be on Wednesday. It will be one day between Monday and Friday. It will be one of them days. But as long as I'm not doing explorations or haunted investigations, anything, if I'm not filming actual videos for you guys, I will be on here doing my weekly live streams on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, all right, we got a couple people in here. I'm going to go ahead and get on with this now. My phone, for some reason, my phone didn't want to charge earlier. Charger won't work, and I don't know. My phone's about to die. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my charger. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. I'm back. I just had to grab my phone charger. There we go. Let me plug this in here and we'll get going with everything keeps falling. Everything keeps falling tonight. I don't like it. Okay. This is my booklet where I write down all the places that we are going to explore. Next videos I'm doing, I got like 3 pages lined up full of videos for you guys. And alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and get to where I wrote all the places down. Here we go. Alright, haunted adventures planned for the near future. We have it's called Cold Harbor Battlefield. We have another one, Hollywood Cemetery, Crawford Road. Now, I've already told you the history on Crawford Road. You know the history. It was in my live stream last week, I do believe. I was telling y'all the history on that. That will probably be one of the first, or if not the very first place we go to do a haunted exploration there in the very near future. In the near future, yeah. You get what I mean. Okay, we have Boxwood Inn. I'm going to tell you the history on that. Fort Magruder Hotel. I'm going to tell you some history on that. Henricus Historical Park. I could not find any history on this park. I found stories of it being haunted. I haven't found actually any history. And Ferry Plantation House. I'll give you a bunch of history on that one. And also Boxwood Inn. I have not found much history on that as well. I mean, I know it's like the top 25 it's on the top 25 list of haunted places in Virginia, but I have not found actually any history about why it's haunted. I've seen rumors, stories that people have told the clerks, the receptionists that work at the hotel, employees, about what they saw. Yeah, I can't find any real history on that. But if I find some, it will definitely be in a video or in my live stream next week. Alright, guys. So, I'm going to start off with Cold Harbor Battlefield. Let me go ahead and look up the history here. Notice this battlefield was actually a battlefield that was fought on and during the Revolutionary War. One of the major battles of the Revolutionary War was actually fought on this battlefield. That's why it's so haunted. Says, okay. Almost. Says hundreds of wounded Federal soldiers remained on the battlefield for death. And it came to conclude that there was, all in all, after the battle, there was 12,000 soldiers that were killed on this battlefield. That's a lot of soldiers between two sides. There was the Union and the Confederate. There's probably a mixture between that 12,000, but there is 12,000 soldiers that were killed during this Battle of Cold Harbor, which was fought on the Cold Harbor battlefield. So it's got some crazy war battles. It's got some weird, creepy, haunted history behind it. So that is Cold Harbor Battlefield for you. Next, we have Hollywood Cemetery. Gonna look up the history on that. Okay, perfect. It is a historical cemetery. Says it's been fully operational since the 19th century. There is a haunted statue in this cemetery. It is a recognized, popular cemetery for tourists, but it is very haunted. Doesn't give hardly any haunted history, but I trying to find the most history for you guys. Oh. And this cemetery is actually, it is haunted by a United States president. President James Monroe. United States President James Monroe actually haunts the cemetery because this is the cemetery where he was laid to rest. So a president way back whenever James Monroe was president of the United States, he does haunt this cemetery. There is a bunch of celebrities that were laid to rest here at the cemetery. So yeah, it's got some. I got goosebumps just reading this. A cemetery that is haunted by a United States president. All right. This next one, I've already told you the history on Crawford Road, so I ain't going to go into that. This next one is called the Boxwood Inn. Boxwood Inn. It's a haunted motel. It's only one floor. Oh, Lord. Oh no, it's actually 2 floors. So, okay. It says, now this Boxwood Inn is very haunted. It has 3 haunted rooms. It's a haunted ghost hotel, according to the actual Boxwood Inn website. Said, all right, I'm gonna read you the Boxwood Inn ghost story. It says, the gentle spirit here is said to be one of Nanny Curtis. So the name of the ghost is Nanny Curtis. She is harmless. She is a friendly ghost. That means she will not harm you during the night. She wants to be friends, but not human form. She was human, but now that she's dead, she's ghost form, and she's just trying to be nice, make friends. It says harmless activity is the normal, which that's what she does. She does not harm people. She's very, very harmless, which means she's friendly. Says such as doors opening and closing on their own. She is also said to enjoy knocking on the doors in the morning, and sleeping is in apparently not her idea of fun for this world. There is also reports of a sighting where the people actually saw a ghost of an elderly man holding a cane. So probably a 70 to 80-year-old man walking through the hotel with his cane. People have reported seeing his ghost. So it does have some haunted history. Alright, guys. Book here. The next one is called Fort Magruder Hotel. Fort Magruder. Now, I have read up on a little bit of history. I haven't read up on much, but I have a little bit. And all right, guys. Whew, sorry. All right. This is a hotel and conference center. It dates back to the Civil War. The region's rich Civil War era history, like the Fort Magruder Hotel and Conference Center, it played a huge part in America's history. It was a it it is settled on a ground where they found Union and Confederate soldiers did. It wasn't an actual battlefield that it settled on. It was a yard or a patch of grass where they actually found dead soldiers from the Civil War that was in a battle near where this hotel is located. It does have haunted history. There is a in the lobby of this hotel. There is. Hold on. Let me get to the actual website where it tells about the haunted history. Okay. It says The Battle of Williamsburg, which was fought on May 5th in 1862, was also known as the Battle of Fort Magruder, where this hotel actually sits today. It was not on the actual battlefield. The battlefield is actually behind the hotel. The hotel is like where you would come in, like the gate, and then the battlefield is behind the hotel. You can't notice the battlefield because there is now trees where the battlefield used to be. Says it took place nearly it it took the lives where this hotel stands today. It took the lives of 1,682 Confederates and 2,283 Union soldiers. Wounded Confederate soldiers were still found by the third day. The dead were buried in mud or piled up high on the settlement of this hotel. So, yes, there could be dead bodies under this hotel. There could be dead soldiers' bodies under this hotel, but they are in the ground, I would hope. And it says, okay. Now, actually, some stories on the hauntings. It says one maid returned into the room she had stayed in the night before where she lost her keys and asked the ghost, which was believed to be a gentleman who had died from a heart attack, on the toilet that is in the room, to kindly return the keys. She then found the keys lying on the floor behind the toilet. What a coincidence. But she had just searched there minutes before she asked the ghost to return them. But okay. And it also says one night a couple was staying at this Fort Magruder hotel and had a big argument where the woman's expensive necklace had disappeared. The couple had searched for the necklace but did not find a trace of it anywhere in the room. During the next search, the husband found the necklace in the drawer he had just looked in. And here's a creepy haunted story on this hotel that makes me get goosebumps every single time I read this story. Here we go. One employee who used to work at night told of an encounter she witnessed one night when a Civil War soldier entered the lobby. This is a ghost of the soldier. This is not the actual soldier. This is a ghost. Entered the lobby, walked across the room, and simply walked out through the glass window. He went straight through the window. She was relieved after they transferred her to the day shift, but hauntings do occur during the day. And here's another creepy haunted story that also gives me the goosebumps. One room on the second floor is haunted by a spirit, which is another name for a ghost, of a 12-year-old girl who died from an asthma attack. And it says sometimes when the maids prepare her room, they would enter it the next morning. Like that night, they would make the bed, pick up dirty towels, washcloths, clean the bathroom, whatever. Says they would come in the next morning and they would find the room completely rearranged. The bed would be destroyed, towels all over the floor. One of the chairs was moved. One of the chairs was moved across the room. And paranormal investigators has actually investigated this hotel, and they have recorded a whole bunch of EVPs that are Civil War soldiers. The spirits actually talked to the investigators through the EVP, saying that they were soldiers during the Civil War. And one manager, the manager of this hotel, reported that he had seen a woman dressed in a white gown from the Civil War era. The woman that lived during the Civil War, like the nurses, doctors, moms at home, cook, they would always wear white gowns. And he reported seeing this woman in a white gown who was found dead in the back courtyard of this hotel. This woman was found dead in the courtyard of the hotel. But this hotel was built right after the Civil War. And they was still searching for dead bodies, and obviously this woman got killed, and one of the hotel employees found her back dead in the courtyard. And there's another story on a woman that was actually found dead inside of the hotel's lobby. She was on a bench. She was sitting on the bench, and one of the employees happened to notice, and she was dead. So this is a very haunted cemetery. Cemetery. Boy, it's 10 o'clock, people. It's 10:30, huh? I'm tired. So this hotel actually has a lot of haunted history behind it. There's about 6 ghosts that haunt this hotel from floor to floor to floor, and room to room to room. 2 in the lobby, the 12-year-old in a room on the second floor, and many more. Alright, that's Fort Magruder Hotel for you guys. Now, I'm going to... there's only one more. I can't find any history on the Henricus Historical Park. I can look to see if they have a website. I don't believe they do. It's a colonial park, like in Colonial Williamsburg, Jamestown. It's like houses from that era where the Europeans came and they first settled at Jamestown. This is what this park dates back to. It has houses like they had in Jamestown. So it's got some good, decent history, some good U.S. history, but also some really, really bad U.S. history, because Native Americans were actually killed on this property. There was Native Americans that actually settled here, and they They were killed by the settlers that settled at this park. Sorry there, guys. Holy goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, all. Okay. I found one haunted story. It says, a woman who desperately struggled to establish a foothold in what was then England's western frontier, as well as the Virginia Indians who encountered them. The woman was killed by the Indians that were here before the Europeans came. See if I can find a little bit more haunted history on it. Okay. Here we go. I found a lot more haunted history on this. Okay. Ghost sightings and strange occurrences have been reported by residents and visitors for quite some time. Be careful when you are steering up on the road that leads to this property. Vehicles are known to unexplainably break down while driving on this road that leads to the property. This road is haunted by the spirit of a woman who committed suicide after losing her child. It is also believed to have once been an old Indian trail. So this road leading up to this property is very haunted. The road's probably more haunted than the actual property is. This road has some creepy and bad history to it. Cars break down unexpectedly. They see this ghost of this woman walking across the road. Oh God. Here's another road that leads to the property from the backside. There's a road that leads to the front side of the property and a road that leads to the backside of the property. This road that leads to the backside of the property is called Ware Bottom Spring Road. What a name for a road. It says, avoid the old Parker's Battery that lies beside this road, because many people have seen apparitions, which are ghostly figures of Civil War soldiers that emerge from its bunkers. Which bunkers means underground something. It says, oh, this is where the Confederates, like bunkers. During the Civil War, soldiers would actually hide in holes that are like ditches and deep tunnels that are dug inside of the ground for them to actually like lay in and hide from the soldiers on the other team or other side that's trying to kill them, injure them, wound them, shoot them, battle them, whatever. And this is where people have seen Civil War soldiers emerge from. Like the ghost figures of the soldiers would actually come out of the ground, and you can see them in the woods, along the side of the road, in the middle of the road, walking on the road back and forth. And then there's a home in this property that is called Eppington. It is the most famous home in this property. It's in this park. It's the most famous home. but also most haunted. The stellar Georgian-style mansion was built in 1768. Thomas Jefferson actually helped build this house. Unfortunately, one of the girls Lucy, she was a young girl that lived in this house with her family. She fell victim to an deadly illness and unfortunately died just 1 month later after contracting this illness. The last owners of the house, I'm not going to say the family's name, but the last owners that owned this house would often hear Lucy's spirit, the spirit of Lucy, the ghost of Lucy, this young girl, start weeping and crying and moaning on the second floor of this house. The story of this historic park dates back to nearly 10,000 years ago. They have discovered artifacts and skeletal remains of the Native Americans that lived on this property. Pocahontas lived at this property. The most famous Powhatan Indian tribe, which housed Pocahontas. Pocahontas actually settled and lived here with the Powhatan tribe at this property. So Pocahontas lived at this property. And that is... Oh, wait a minute. Here's another haunted story. All of the uneasiness finally climaxed in 1622 during the famous Indian massacre that happened on and around this property, in the area of this property, also known as the Powhatan Uprising, which is very famous in American history. Powhatan's brother and successor, can't say this name, Open Shonkoff led a surprise attack on Jamestown, which is not too far from this property, leaving anywhere from 347 to 4,006 settlers dead. Among the property, the houses that were on this property at the time, all of them got destroyed, burned down. This historic park, this property played an important role in both the Revolutionary and Civil War. Here's a haunted story from a person that does tours. They do tours at this park, and one of the tour guides says he heard something in one of the houses and saw something standing at the door. As he says, by the time I got to the door, there was no one there. I didn't have anyone on staff. No one was with him who even looked like that. That was the first big hint that there was ghost and paranormal activity at this property. So there is very cruel, bad, and a lot of haunted history on this property called Henricus Historical Park. This place sounds creepy during the day. I would probably get killed. I mean, you would probably, if you went to this place at nighttime, I feel sorry for whoever goes, which I know it'll probably be me. We'll probably go to this place at nighttime if we get permission. But if, say, we couldn't and we just went during the day, if someone did actually get permission to go here during the night, I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them. Woo! They would probably, I don't know, they probably have nightmares for the rest of their lives after. Just reading this gives me the creeps. And that is all the history on Henricus Historical Park. Very cruel, Revolutionary War, Civil War, Jamestown settlers, a bunch of cruel and bad American history happened at this property, and a very lot of haunted stories as well. That is everywhere that I have on my list that to tell you guys the history on. Like I said, I've already told y'all the history on Crawford Road. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. I forgot one more place. This is called the Ferry Plantation House. Just look up the history on that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is all I see on when I go to search it. I see nothing but haunted history. Okay. This is called the Ferry Plantation House. This house was lived in by Captain John Smith. He lived in this house, and his team of explorers first made landfall right near this house. This house is near the Chesapeake Bay, where Captain John Smith and his crew came in to North America to colonize the New World. Okay. Scroll through the history here, see if I can find any haunted stories. Scrolling through this article, see if I see any haunted stories. Okay. Ferry Farm, which is the farm that is on this property, is one of the 3 Princess Anne houses on the plantation property. It is a must-visit for fans of federal architecture and tourists looking to experience life during the colonial times. It is a 2.5-story tall and is spacious abode, complete with a parlor, attic, library, and multiple bed chambers. But if you're looking for haunted history, this is the place to go. If you're looking for one of the 11 ghosts that haunt this house, 11 ghosts reportedly haunt this house, your best bets lie in the oldest part of this house, the southeast wing. The southeast wing of this house holds 11 ghosts. 11. That is a lot of ghosts for one little section of a humongous house. Okay, but you're up your odds for a ghostly encounter. And get some variety into your ghost hunt for the supernatural, but perhaps you'll see Henry, a famous American slave, looking for some vengeance, or hear the cries of Sally Rebecca Walk, grieving over the death of her lover, or get a replay of the lady in white tumbling down the stairs. Holy moly. This has already got some haunted history, and I ain't even halfway through the article. Breaking this lady in white tumbled down the stairs, breaking her neck, or you can also come across one of the victims of an 1810 shipwreck. Okay, that is the article for the Fairy Plantation House. Some crazy haunted history at this house. I mean, super crazy. And yeah. So that is everywhere on my list to tell you that I am planning on going for haunted explorations here in the near future. I just wanted to get some history out to you guys on all the places that I'm looking to explore the paranormal, ghosts, very haunted stuff. And if you do not like this haunted paranormal stuff, do not go out and do it yourself. That's okay. But yeah, like I was getting at, this paranormal stuff, ghost hunting, can be very, very dangerous. If you go and do this kind of stuff, like deal with the paranormal, deal with ghosts, you have to be very, very cautious because you can run up into demons sometimes, which can attach themselves to you and can physically and mentally affect you and your personality, your life. They can possess you, you can be possessed. This stuff is very, very dangerous. And you have to take this very, very cautiously if you're going to do it. If you want to do this, get some ghost hunt equipment. But the main thing is to be careful. That's the main thing about ghost hunting. Yes, it's fun. It's fascinating to some people. Me, myself, I love it. It's fascinating. It's fun. But it is very dangerous. You have to be very careful when you are doing ghost hunting, dealing with anything of the unknown. You have to be very, very cautious. Anything that's not human, like the unknown, ghosts, paranormal activity, paranormal items, haunted dolls, ghosts, spirits, anything that is not human, that is considered to be unknown, you have to be very, very, very careful, because it can, and sometimes it will, if you ain't careful, attach to you, and it will affect you, your life, your personality, anything characteristic wise to you, the human. It can affect it. That's why you have to be very, very cautious when doing this. And if you guys want to do it, I really would recommend you doing it, unless you really want to and want to become a pro ghost hunter. Then get yourselves some ghost hunting equipment. Go out there, explore the paranormal, explore ghosts. But listen to me when I say this. Please be very cautious, because things can happen, and sometimes maybe 45% of the times, 45% of times, it can and it will happen. I've seen YouTube videos where people have gotten possessed just by going into just by going into a house that is a very bad house to go in. It's a demon lives in that house. It's very, very, it's a popular place for like witchcrafting, rituals. So yeah, it's dangerous, and it can be dangerous, and most likely, if you go into a place where it is a demon living there by witchcrafting or having a ritual, it can affect you, and it possibly will. I'm not saying that it will, but it can. I'm not saying as soon as you walk into the house you're getting possessed. No, that's not what I'm saying. Saying that this is a very dangerous act. Well, not an act, but explorations and investigations from the paranormal, ghosts, the unknown. It is very, very dangerous. You have to be very cautious doing this kind of stuff. And if you do walk into a demon, sorry, but if you walk into a demon that does not like you being in the property that you are on, that they are living at, most of the time something will happen. I don't know. Anything could happen. You could get possessed. You could get pushed down the stairs, pushed through the floor. You could fall through the floor. You could get hit by something. You can get something thrown at you. Watching a YouTube video earlier today, this guy got a chair thrown at him. So it can be very, very dangerous. Just take very good caution when you are doing this kind of stuff. Dealing with the paranormal, dealing with the unknown, everything. You have to take good caution and make sure you are properly doing the investigations the proper way. In the last 5 minutes I got, I will tell you all the things you need to know. You have to start the investigation properly. If you don't, then there's a good chance something will happen. You have to open the investigation, let the spirits come in so they can communicate, tell you everything they want the world to hear. They can tell anything they want that they want any of us to hear. You have to properly start a spirit box. You have to welcome all the spirits in, tell them that you are here just to get answers, and they'll gladly communicate. But if you get into like demons or something bad, if you are in a investigation like a spirit box session, if you're using a spirit box in a session and a demon communicates with you through the spirit box, and if you want to end the spirit box section right there, you cannot. You cannot. I mean, yes, you can. You can surely do it, but there is most likely something that's going to happen because a demon comes in and you just randomly turn off the spirit box. Something might happen. So, if you come across a demon, just let the demon say what he wants to say, what it wants to say. Properly close out the spirit box by saying, I'm glad we got some answers from y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and close the spirit box session. I'm glad we got answers. Glad y'all decided to communicate and go on, close it out like you're supposed to. So yeah, I mean, that's basically all that you have. That's basically all you have to do to be cautious about getting a demon or not. But even if you don't encounter a demon, it's still good to properly open and close a session by doing the proper closing and opening way. Because if you don't close it properly, say like you just get an answer and like you're done, you turn it off, something could very well happen to you. I've seen people that's happened. They just randomly shut off their spirit box, not thinking, and they get possessed. They turn around and they're possessed. I mean, so yeah, things can't happen like that. That's why you should always close out using dowsing rods, spirit boxes, EVPs. You should always close that out using proper techniques for closing them out. Opening, you should do proper techniques as well. But closing is the main thing. Opening, not so much. But the closing part where you want to end the session is very, very important to use proper techniques and proper ways to make sure that the spirits know that you are ending the session. You don't want to communicate anymore. So just, if you go get a spirit box, EMF meter, something, and want to communicate with a ghost that you find, take the extra couple minutes, couple seconds, and close. Take the couple seconds, open up the session properly, take the couple seconds at the end, close the session properly, and there you go. Nothing might happen. Alright, but if you don't, something could happen. I'm not saying that it will, but it definitely could. Alright, guys, we have just hit the 1 hour mark on this live stream. Oh, so that is all the places that I have for you as haunted explorations here in the near future, and things about how to actually do ghost hunting the proper way. And like I said earlier, just you have to be cautious doing this. I know a bunch of ghost hunters out there that are local to me, and there's a bunch of YouTubers that do ghost hunting, but I also know a bunch of ghost hunters that are local to me here in my county. So I have talked to them, and they said just to make sure you are doing the proper techniques and proper ways to do everything, open, close. So yeah, all right, guys. Well, we are about 1 hour and 2 minutes in here. That is over an hour live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. About haunted places that I'm looking to explore in the near future, history on these places, and just ghost hunting techniques, if you were to call them. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and I will catch you guys next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on my live stream next week. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night and day tomorrow.